I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 81, Fast Rush ECOGEAR PowerWorm Championship. Released exclusively in Japan in 2000, this game was developed and published by Visco Corporation. So we've had a fishing RPG with Nushi Tsuri, and now we've got a pure fishing game. And again, this game is exclusive to Japan. I never played a fishing game in my life before this challenge, but I do remember a game called Sega Bass Fishing being pretty popular back in the day. I personally absolutely loathe going fishing in real life, but hey, maybe doing it in a video game is a more enjoyable experience. Let's check it out. A very cool thing about this game is it has support for a really special controller on the N64 called the Tsuricon 64. This was a controller released only in Japan, and it's compatible with all the fishing games released there. It was surprisingly cheap for me to import one. I think I paid under 20 bucks for it. So the main single player mode in this game is the championship mode, so we will complete that to beat this game. I decided to do free fishing first to try to get used to the new game though. So when it gets to the fishing, it's an interesting choice for graphics. Your character is standing on the very tip of the boat ready to fish. In the background, I guess that's a picture of a real island, and the water may be based off real water? It's kind of hard to tell. Definitely a weird style for the N64. I sat here not really knowing what to do, like actually no clue. There seemed to be no way to cast the line. Someone from my chat suggested using motion controls, to which I was like, come on dude, quit playing around. This controller's from the 90s, that doesn't work. Guys, this is an ancient controller from 1997 or something. This doesn't have motion controls. It does! What? How does this have motion controls? Oh my god, okay, that's actually way cooler than I thought. It knew how hard I flicked too. That time I flicked harder. Wouldn't you know it though, this thing really does have motion controls. I was so freaking impressed with the technology of this thing. Not only did it have motion controls to cast the line, but it knew how hard you did it as well. You could flick it harder to send the line out further. Just, man, that's so cool to me from such an old thing. And that's not the only cool thing that it did. More on that later. It took me quite a while to actually find some fish. Part of the game is searching all the different areas to see which ones have fish, given factors like weather, time of day, time of year, things like that. It felt great to finally see some fish in the water under a bridge. However, the fish I hooked immediately got away, which was quite a buzzkill. But later I hooked another one, and this time it went much better. Yo, let's go, dude! Look at that! Wow. It plays really intense music when you're fighting a fish, which is just awesome. You have to reel the fish in, but be careful with the tension of the line, indicated by the meter at the top. Getting that first catch felt so good. Now I felt like I was ready to take on the tournament. There's 6 levels to take part in. The first one is the Kawaguchi Open. Before starting, it shows an information page with all the settings of the tournament. Like this one is in March and takes place from 8 AM to 4 PM. Again, I had to search around the different areas to find where all the fish were located. It didn't take all that long for me to find them though. The first one I hooked was putting up a huge fight. I would tell stories about this battle to my grandkids someday. I did reel it in when all was said and done. It was 34 centimeters and 480 grams. This brings me to another cool feature of the Suricon controller, haptic feedback. That's right. If you hear how the PS5 controller is so impressive due to having haptic feedback, this controller was doing it in the 90s. As you're battling a fish, the tension on the reel gets stronger when the fish is trying to pull away. Like, you have to press harder to get the reel to turn. I think it's just so cool that they're able to pull it off. I was really impressed by this thing. But yeah, that's about it for the general idea of the game. Just search around and try to catch bass, over and over again. I caught a few more, nothing crazy, but you know, they were decent. Another thing is you're only supposed to catch bass in this game. If you catch anything else like a bluegill or catfish or whatever, it doesn't count towards your ranking. Later in the day around noon or so, I found some much bigger bass, and they were hungry. It was tough to pull in, but man, it was worth it. 41 centimeters and nearly 1.3 kilograms. Wow. Your score is based off the cumulative weight of the biggest 5 bass you've caught. Once 4 p.m. hits, it ends the session and shows an overview of what you have. Mine were definitely pretty solid overall. Never did beat that 1.3 kilogram one, but still. And then it shows the rankings of all the competitors, and man, I destroyed the competition. Above D. Iwasawa by over 1 kilogram. Get wrecked. After that, it's just on to the next tourney. The second is the Kitaura Classic. We're now fishing in April and it's a different area. However, when you get an actual area to fish, it doesn't really look all that different. So yeah, I caught a bunch of fish. It's basically the same as the last one gameplay wise. I went until I had 5 fish, figuring since I crushed it last time, that'd be good enough. I ended with a 1.3 kilogram fish and figured, you know what, I'll call it a day here. I loaded up the ranking screen expecting to be showered with glory, but yeah, I only had 6th place. I thought I had lost the game and would have to start all over, but it just advanced to the 3rd tourney. Not really sure what was going on, but apparently you don't have to get first in every tourney. It gives you a ranking you have to achieve at the bottom of the settings page each time before the tourney. The 3rd tournament is the Lake Nojiri Masters, and it takes place in May. After that performance last time, I knew I needed to step it up. You can use all kinds of different lures when fishing, but I'm not really sure what they do or the advantages or disadvantages of any of them. I just stuck with the same one the whole game because it was working fine. After a while, I caught a 1.7 kilogram bass, the biggest yet. But I knew, I knew, something big was lurking out in those waters. Hey, wait, no, not that big, but you know, a bigger bass than the one I'd seen before. A 2.8 kilogram fish was pulled in at the end of this tourney, and I felt more than safe to move on. Trust me, the biggest fish are yet to come though. I got 1st place in this tourney by quite a bit. The 4th tournament is the ECOGEAR Cup, taking place in June. I immediately found another massive fish, 2.7 kilograms. Things were looking real good here, but little did I know my fisherman character dude's life was going to change forever. I hooked onto a fish that felt pretty big, definitely one of the tougher ones. However, when I finally pulled it out of the water, I could not believe my eyes. They have told legends of this thing for ages, but I thought that's all they were, legends. I had caught one of the mythical elder bass. Weighing in at an insane 4.5 kilograms, this just blew the competition out of the water. For the rest of the playthrough, my viewers and I were excited searching for more elder bass. I don't know why I ended up calling it elder bass, the name just kind of felt right. It was tough to find any more big fish, so I went to the end of the day hoping for the best. Thankfully, that elder bass carried me to victory by under 1 kilogram. Only 2 tournaments to go now. The 5th one is the Lake Biwa Championship. Right away, I caught yet another elder bass, this one being 5.1 kilograms, and after that, yet another one at 4.5 kilograms. I just barely squeaked by in this one with 5 different elder bass caught. Then the final tournament is the ECOGEAR Classic. Not to be confused with the ECOGEAR Cup, of course. I knew the other fishers would be on top of their game, and the clear condition for the final tournament is 1st place. So I knew I need at least 5 elder bass to have a chance. But I found something even crazier. The elder bass. 69 centimeters in length and over 6 kilograms in mass. What the heck, man? The guy has to use 2 hands to lift it out of the water. Then I found another one, 75 centimeters and 6.5 kilograms. And then finally, just to seal the deal, I caught the biggest one of all, weighing in at 7.5 kilograms. Look at the size of that thing. When the results came up, I was a bit nervous, but it turned out I beat 2nd place by over 6 kilograms. Dang, kinda overkill. It said easy level clear, so I guess there's harder ones? Then it shows a cutscene with our character celebrating with a big trophy, and then the credits play. Game complete. Before beating the game, you unlock a secret lake you can fish in. I'm not really sure what the point of it is, other than, I guess, if you just really love fishing or something. So yeah, there you have it, my journey to beating Bass Rush EcoGear PowerWorm Championship. This is the first true fishing game I've ever played in my entire life, and well, it was alright. I think having the special controller made it a bit better than it would have been with a normal controller, but it's still quite repetitive, I think. I'm not too sure who would prefer playing a virtual fishing video game over just going fishing for real. Like, if you like fishing, you like being in the outdoors with nature, all that, like this just doesn't have that. I think there's a lot of intricacy to this game and researching the best lure and location and all that stuff, but it's pretty hard to do with no knowledge of fishing, as well as not being able to read Japanese. The fishing itself gets quite intense, with it taking over 5 minutes to battle a single fish. And the music while you're catching a fish is an absolute banger. That being said, I think it's decent for what it is. I gave it a 4 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Have a sneak peek at the next game. So there are 309 games on the list currently. We could get any of them. Even more fishing. 3, 2, 1, go! 14? What the heck is that? Oh man! Dude, we're getting all the games I wanted. We are playing the next Army Men game, which is Army Men Sarge's Heroes. This is the one I said I wanted. I swear I'm not rigging it. But yeah, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. It helps the channel a lot. And if you like this series, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.